So how's your day going? That was my second reboot in 20 minutes. I haven't had a reboot in like 2 weeks. And I just had two in 20 minutes here. So I'm kind of wondering what's going on there. It's almost make me being suspicious of my camera or something having a bad driver update. All right, let's see. No, it's not a Windows user. Actually, technically it could be because this is one of those things I think people don't understand while I wait for this junk to come up here. Windows is 100% stable. Windows drivers can be absolute crap. Many people don't know that we actually run most of our server set on Windows. The only downtimes we've ever had have been for reboots. We've never had a single blue screen in 5 years or so. But yes, Windows is awesome. Windows drivers suck, so you just got to make sure you always have good drivers. All right, we'll see how this goes. Trying this one more time here. Hey, goofy guy, you've a goofy, fun guy. If you guys are new to the stream, I do not normally crash my computer or have my computer reboot on me multiple times during the stream. It's usually just once. But so far tonight I've had two. And technically I don't think I've ever had one reboot on the stream before. Maybe once. Waiting for it. Okay. So I guess I'm just going to jump. It is after 4 o'clock. Thank you guys for joining the stream. Thank you for putting up with a couple of crashes so far. And these are computer reboots, not the game crash. And the game would never crash. Never. Actually, it doesn't crash on me hardly at all. I'm unfortunately one of the people who the game does not have problems with. If you haven't heard me talk about before, the game stability is actually really important to us, but it's also one of those things that's really hard to pin down because most people do not have any stability problems, and there's a handful of people who have big stability problems. So I'm one of the people that does not have stability problems, which I say is bad because if I had stability problems, I'd be able to track it down a lot easier and probably figure out stuff and instrument and go into my crash dumps and all that type of stuff, but I can never get it to crash personally. My computer, yes, I can. But anyways, welcome to the stream today. I was looking at the stream or the update, and it was update 402, I think. I don't think that's one per week though. Again, maybe it was 401. But anyways, we're over 400. I think I mentioned that last time. So we're many years into the project. For those who don't know. And we continue to keep going and we keep improving things. You'll be seeing a lot of cool stuff coming out in this next release. Last week we had our big release. This next release and what's going to be on QA soon is more stuff I'll talk about today. But there's going to be some mounts going on QA. There's at least 2 already there. And I saw that our animator had fixed up the animations for the horse stuff. So if you had one before, I guess I can go ride one around now. See what things actually got fixed. This is actually the live client, so there's not going to be that much fixed in it. But let's see. So mounts will be coming in next release. We do have mounts on live now. You just can't get a mount. We have them on there for testing. We'll probably give them away for a few people. They will be available on QA. There's actually, I believe, mounts in the... Hey, thank you very much, Mandalar, and thank you very much, Stun Rock, and again, Goofy Fun Guy. Thank you for the follow, and Skeggy Media. Thank you for the host, and Christ Pallet. Thank you for the sub, and Pifester. Thank you for the sub. Sean Pax Lair, Neogenics 172, Skeggy Media, Necronut, and Waldo, and Dinharu, thank you for the sub. Thank you guys. Hopefully I'm going to be able to stay on here and not crash again. But anyways, hold on. It's not allowed to rain on my parade. It's always got to be beautiful when I'm playing. But anyways, the mounts are on QA. There are going to be more features coming in for them. There's going to be the skills coming onto QA. That'll happen sometime in the next few weeks. The thing I actually am kind of committed to, I'm committed to it definitely for the next release, R83, but I'm trying to get it in quicker than that. Hey, somebody just did something crazy. Thank you, Bodacious88. Man, thank you for the subs. Tons and tons of subs. And thank you. Oh, that's also coming from Bodacious88. It's going to spam me here for a while. And also, thank you, Shaner9er. Nice seeing your name around here. But anyways, on a previous stream, I think it was on 2 weeks ago when I was on a stream that I committed to, on Silvertree stream, I committed to getting a couple of boss fights in for R83. And then I actually talked about one on Wednesday, which is the probably will be a multi-group boss fight type situation. It'll be a multi-group to trigger the boss fight is really what I'm looking for. That is basically going to be a zone-wide boss fight. That's a zone that just has a bunch of mini bosses in it that have spawn times in the 20-minute range, where I have them set up hopefully so they're not very soloable, and even if you could solo them, you got to get all of them dead at the same time, and that's what triggers the boss fight. But anyways, I'm trying to get that in for next Friday, not to live but to QA, so maybe I can get some people to help me test with that. But anyways, a couple of different boss fights will be coming in R83 is the short version of that. Hold on, I'm still recovering from the crash as I try to make sure everything's set up here. Oh, and thank you very much, Shadow Vice, and thank you very much for the follow there, Mustache Gaming Texas. Oh, another Texas guy, and also TS Gamer and Mave Trinity for the follow, and Arturius Magris and Netrex for the follow. Tons of stuff happened here, and Amanita Shroom. I wonder if that's a red fly person. Are you a red fly person, Shroom? Red Fly was the company I worked at about 8 years ago, and they did a game that was a Mushroom Men game. For those who didn't know, and that was one of the mushrooms in it. There's actually a little bit of, for those who don't know, there's a little bit of Mushroom Men homage. I'm going homage. I know it's homage. In the mushrooms, there's actually some mushrooms you can fight in our game. And they are the different mushrooms that were in Mushroom Men. Let's see. Oh, let me see if that if they spoke up and said they were. I don't see anything there. All right, well, let me get to some questions here. That's why I'm here today, is just to answer questions about the game in case you did not get enough on Wednesday. They actually did a great job. I like that format. They prepared questions ahead of time and gave me a list of the questions like ahead of time. I actually did not look at the questions until about an hour or two before and just kind of scanned through them, but I didn't want to go through and they told me I could pull questions if I want to, which is super nice of them, but I kind of like to answer the hard ones whenever I can. Not just the easy ones. Anybody can answer the easy ones. But not too many hardballs. Let me see. Now I got to go find my question list. If you do ! Question space whatever question, it'll show up in my log, and then I'll have that there. Just because I lose everything in the scrolling with 100+ people typing. If you are new to our stream and how we do this stuff, no, I don't want to do an update. If you're new to the stream, you can do in-game, not in the Twitch stream, do I Love Fall most of all. And it'll add you to my list of people who will be eligible for prizes. We give away prizes at 15 after already, and 45 after. So in-game, I Love Fall most of all. Oh, and also, if you are not in-game and you're in a place you can't do that, but you have a web browser, you're welcome to buy something. Buying something from our store, just buying like the smallest crown bundle or whatever else, will also enter you into the prizing. Elgarion is going out drinking to the pub tonight because I gave him the evening off. But he said he'll get the prizes sent out probably later tonight or tomorrow morning. So he'll send those things out. I have to give him the list of people there. But got some cool prizes they picked for this month. But it is I Love Fall most of all. All you have to do is type it in-game or buy any small crown bundle. We would appreciate the purchase, but we try to make sure you have a way to enter for free. You can download the game for free. You don't have to pay. Totally free to play. And let's get into some questions if I can find it. All right, here we go. Let's see. I think this one's from today. I can't tell if this is the first one. Well, I'm going to answer it just because it's a good question to ask. The Real Black Axe asked, Lavagix will consider making me a custom animation. Will you place it in game if I pay him to build it? If it is an emotes, we actually have a pretty good process for getting emotes in. If you want to, if Lavagix wants to do you a custom animation, custom emote, we'll gladly put it in. Usually what we'll do for those type things is if you have a custom one like that, well, you're paying him and we like him, so we'll probably give it to you. What we've done with some in the past, like what we do with like music or other things, is we'll give it you copy of it, and then we'll put it in the store for like, crowns, so other people, so we make some hopefully some microtransaction goodness off of it, and you guys don't. We love Lavagix though. I would love to get some more custom animations in there, and I totally get I want to have my own custom emote that only I can do or only my guild can do. So he probably doesn't have time to do that many, so I'm sure it'll be a limited time basis. And if he wants to make you a custom emote, we'll give it to you, and we will make it so you can teach it, but it is not reteachable. For those who don't know much about our emote system, we have a lot of different things we can do with it, where we can have emotes that are either only you can have it, like you have to get it from someplace and you cannot reteach it. We can have another type that is you can learn it from some NPC or quest or scroll or whatever, and you can learn it, but you can't reteach it. There's the other type that you can reteach, but they can't reteach. So you may have one that you do your own little, whatever you have your I forget if that's like a curse word in other countries or something. I always forget what the super insulting stuff is. I know the piece backwards is one that you're not supposed to do in England, but anyways, if you have your own little custom thing where does that, you can make it so you can teach it. You can teach other people, but they can't reteach it themselves. Hey, thank you very much, Real Black Axe. Yeah, if he wants to get them to us, we'll always work with Lavagix on stuff. We love getting free content in there. Just promise to teach it to at least a couple people. You don't really have to, but make sure and show it off to a lot of people so they can be jealous at least. But yeah, we can give it to, and we can either make it reteachable, we can make it teachable once, or whatever you want to do. I know that's one of the things on the Lord of the Isles, and also Shooter has his own, Shooter Jennings. Is a longtime fan of the game, fan and supporter, and a few other people, but they have their own emotes that they can teach, but they're the only ones who can teach it, and so, kind of it lets you into their secret club. I'm sure Lavagix, if he's out there, has his own thing. Hey, thank you very much. Oh, now I think you're just trying to get the hype train going there. But I think Lavagix may have his own special one that he can teach, but other people can't reteach. But anyways, yeah, we always love content like that. And Lavagix, again, is the perfect guy. Like if you're out there thinking, well, I'll just do my own because I know how to use Blender or whatever. Lavagix is kind of a special case. He was a longtime team member, and I've worked with him at that previous company I mentioned, Redfly. I've worked with him for 10 plus years. Totally trust him, and he's got Man, now you guys are really trying to get it going. I'm cheering for you. What do you have to do to get a hype train going, guys? I see Real Black Axe 1,000, Shaner Niner 1,500. Thank you very much. Real Black Axe 500, Bodacious 888 1,000. You guys need to get somebody else to jump in and trigger it because I don't know how to trigger it. I know we don't. Quick, somebody else throwing some bits. Maybe it's a minimum number of people throwing some small bits or something. There's Waldo. There you go. For those who don't know, I don't have my sidekick with me tonight trying to make me be stingy about it. So I'll give you guys, I'll do extra drawing for each level you guys do. For each one that completes. So that is an extra prizing where I give away 5 extra prizes each time. I'll go ahead and get the one going right now. Oh, but anyways, LavaGix is awesome. He's contributed to the game. He's been a fan of the game and continued to work with us afterwards. And he's also over at some friends' company. And he's also a Longhorns fan. Hook 'em, undefeated. But anyways, but the more important thing of why he gets to do it and you guys, other people really don't, is because he already has the access to all the data. He has the character rigging. He has all the, the max files. He has everything set up. He knows the data pipeline and all that jazz. So he's a little special. Whoa! Thank you, Shaner Niner. Man, pushing him over the edge there. I think that was that. Oh, we're already up to level 2, so I got to do at least a couple more. I got to do at least a couple more here. Thank you. I'm going to go back and thank you guys all at the end there. I see Jaime and I see Stymie, Long Live the Syndicate, Shaner Niner carrying the people over there to get them some extra prizes. I'm going to go pull the first prize because if I don't get ahead of it here, I'm going to fall so far behind I'll never get caught up. Hold on. Doing the prizing. Oh, and for those who are wondering, the live build succeeded. I was doing a QA build earlier today that failed. It's a QA build. People do bad stuff. I only integrate the very select stuff to live, so live actually succeeded. I've got to go look at why QA failed, but there won't be a QA build probably tomorrow morning for the QA build. The live build is updating right now, or uploading right now, and I'll be testing it. And you guys are doing great. Starting my month off right. Last month was a pretty low month. I've noticed there's a trend. If Richard's on the stream, it's usually like crazy. Oh, you guys are doing great. Just now seeing all that stuff come up. But yeah, if Richard's on the stream, you guys are way more generous. But absolutely super duper appreciate this. And everybody on the stream should thank him here, because if I can figure out what I'm doing again, I will get multiple extra prizes in here. It's running. Hold on. Let me make sure and move to the top of the queue. First prizing's running. But anyways, yeah, I would love to get some more stuff from LavaGix in there. I'd love to get him to do stuff. He actually owes us a few animations. I would never ask for him just because he's done so many other good things for the project and continues to be so positive and constructive. But I gave him, like, when he left, I let him take his computer home. But really, a secret? Shh, don't tell him. I want to make sure he had his computer from work. So in case he ever wanted to do some more work for us, he would have it handy and ready. Shh, don't tell him it was a trick. All right, let me get back into some questions here. I don't even know where you guys, you're on level 4, so that means we got like 3 extra, so I got to do 5. So I'm just going to be reading off prizes here till the end of the stream is pretty much what I'm getting out of this. All right, let's see. Amanita Shroom, when will we get a set of patterns for women's shoes and boots? That is a great question. Right now, Damon has been, Damon, our lead artist guy, who's the guy who normally does that type stuff, has been working on a couple different things. One of which is a new creature that we expect to go live in R83. He may jump on the stream here and yell at me. But yeah, there's a new creature that's completely new model and rigging and everything, and VFX and all sorts of stuff that we expect to go live this release that's a boss type creature. He also is doing animations for the horse stuff. I expect this whole release he's going to be doing whatchamacallit, horse stuff, riding stuff. But actually, really, what you're looking at is patterns probably for shoes and boots that already exist. Which that's one that we can actually talk to Elgarian about. He's getting into that stuff super heavy. Beezus has given us a lot more time these days. So we've got a lot of Beezus time, and that's one I can get him working on as well. I moved him off of some other stuff, and I actually took over the food stuff, which I think is going pretty well. I still have some more tuning to do if you're a food guy, so don't worry about that. But let me... Hold on, I'm just going to start pasting these things into our design stream. Our design channel, so people know. Posting stuff from stream. Just for historical purposes. Oh, and by the way, I see since there's a number of new people on the stream, and the hype train's still going there. That's a long ways to get to level 5. We've already got 3 extra prize giveaways, so that's probably like the sweet spot there. But I'm Chris Spears. I am started the project as the tech director on the project and CTO for the company, but actually now I run the boat. I run the project and make many, if not all, the decisions at the high level stuff, and then work with a team. We are a very, very open team in terms of design and who does what. The other thing that you will see, and you can see this actually going to streams, we have historical proof, is we listen to you guys a lot because we do not have 1 million users, which would be awesome if we had 1 million users. But because we are I wouldn't go so far as to say indie game, but we're kind of a mid-market game. We have a lot of players, but not so many that we can't listen to you guys and try to get a lot of your feed or get a lot of your input in. So you can see that a lot of the design comes from you guys, and a lot of that is balanced stuff. Oh man, you guys are close there. I can't see the... Oh, it's so close to level 5. All right, well, I'm going to do 4 extra anyways. 3 is what it said. You guys were like that far. I don't want your money to go to waste there, your bits. And, but anyways, I do listen to you guys. We have other people who do streams for us. They listen to you guys. I'm trying to get, at players' requests, trying to get some of the other guys on streams rather than just being sidekicks on my stream. We have Travis used to do some streaming, but he's been a little shy lately. And really that's probably more because he's one of the people who's had his life turned upside down by COVID stuff, along with a lot of other people. But let me get back. Let me go do a minute of thanking people. Let me kick off a second prizing. I think the first one completed already. Oh, I hate you, prize script. It did complete, but it spewed errors on me. It's all right. I can read it off the hard way. But let me go thank some people real quick now that we're done with the hype train. You guys are welcome to continue giving bits or whatever. But Mandalar, huge thanks. Long-time supporter. Sorgan Toxol, thank you very much. Waldo, thank you. Times 6. Mandalar again. Many Mandalars. Winfield Pax Lair, speaking of long-timer, man. If you guys have a pot, you probably owe Winfield at least a little thank you. I don't know that he didn't really come up with the pot idea, but he's kind of one of the guys that pushed and helped stir creative juices on a lot of that stuff. So Winfield, thank you for everything. Shaner Niner again, man, again carrying a lot of people on their backs there, trying to get them over the hump to get them some extra prizes. Good job, Shaner. Shadow Vice, 1 Blood Omen, 1 Treasure Pile. Thiel77, thank you for the sub. Vulcan Jedi. Aobneal, butcher it every single time. Zythar Cart7397, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that as much as anything else. Trokip, thank you for the bits. Treasure Pile. Stunrock. Bodacious88, many times. Aobneal many times as well. Man, Venusada, I'm going to have to stop reading all these dupes. Another Venusada, Shaner Niner again, Skeggy, Hollyhock, Stymie, You guys are crazy. Pipester, again, another name I love seeing. And the Real Black Axe, Dart and Obscuro, Winfield, Paxlair, some more. Shaner, Niner, some more. Real Black Axe, some more. You guys are crazy. And Wessies. Okay, I think I got everybody at least one time there. Guys, thank you so much for all the support on that stuff. That'll get our month off to a good start on our bidding. And let me see if I've got some stuff to read off here. Oh, it failed again. Okay, well, I'm just going to have to go read the hard version of it. Give me 1 second, and I will get the prizing read off going. I think I owe you guys like 5 of them, so it's going to take up like a few minutes here. I'll do 3 of them, 2 of them now, and then I'll do 3 of them at the end. Let's see. Hold on. I miss live music. How about you guys? All right, we got Ornate Spider Legs Cloak going to Dave Dude. We have Spider Web Cloak going to Blaze Garsink. We have, let's see, Woven Spiderweb Cloak going to Mika Oda. We have Zombie Statue going to Ravenscar. And we have a Rustic 2-story Village Home going to Bridge Troll. Okay, let me do the other one there. That wasn't so bad. Congrats to all the winners, but there's more. But wait. There's more. I'm holding up a finger. You can't see it. But wait, there's more. All right, the second round out of 5 I'm going to do today because I am running the stream by myself and I don't have my sidekick to tell me not to. Oh. Actually, I got 3 that popped up here. The next round, and then I'll jump into some questions and try to rapid fire through some questions. Ornate Spider Legs Cloak goes to Necrotic Storm. Spiderweb Cloak goes to Red Hammer's Minions. Woven Spiderweb Cloak goes to Sephiroth Scourge. Zombie Statue goes to Lilinia Sithel. And Rustic 2-story Village Home goes to Zeke Lautrec. All right. And the last one, Ornate Spider Legs Cloak goes to Dr. Himbrand. Spiderweb Cloak goes to Zeke Lautrec. The Woven Spiderweb Cloak goes to Anpu. Congratulations, Anpu. Zombie Statue goes to... what? You just won. Goes to Ravenscar. You know what? We're going to do so many today, there's probably going to be a few dupes because his script sucks. I think there actually may be something in it that if you have multiple characters on your account, it does. It screws up and lets you in there twice. We'll leave it as an honor system. You're going to get sent the thing, and if you want to, if you feel guilty about winning twice, you can send it to a friend or give it to your guild or give it out on your stream. Rustic 2-story Village Home goes to Nini. All right, there's 3. I owe you guys 2 more later on, but I'm going to do some questions real quick and jump right into that. Again, let's see. J Dread Good Game says, can we get the base resist fixed on the Epic Plate Gauntlets, please? It was missed during the resist updates. Hey, thank you very much, Mandalar. Thank you. And also thank you, Eileen Dragonfire. The Dancing Queen. Or something like that. Let's see. Let me put this down here. I'm trying to keep track of this stuff. But yeah, so can we get the base resist on the Epic Plate Gauntlets fixed? Yeah, I must have missed it. I didn't know I've got that on the list now. I will try and get that in a patch. We will see how that goes. Sometimes it just depends on my workflow as to whether or not I can sneak it into a live build, and it depends on how much I want to touch or how much I have to touch. But that's one that probably should be able to be self-contained and easy to sneak over. So I'll try and get that in for a patch for you. Let's see. Red Hammer's asked an important question that I would like to know the answer to as well. Does anyone know how to skip the Best Buy ad? Monkey Smack. What effect will increased cooking skill have on food? So this is a good one. The food stuff has got a bit of a pass there. I think most people are like the direction that it headed in. And it does open up a lot more possibilities. There's obviously some more polish and some more tuning on that stuff that's going to happen. One of the things that I'm also working on, though, for that is, and this is something the tech has been done for it, now I've got to go back and do some more of the design side for it, which is foods, actually any crafting stuff can have it so based on skill levels and based on rolls and lucks and things that you do, can have a, rather than getting a single item where you put the ingredients on there and it spits out an item, we can have it in a loot bundle. Now it was already kind of what we call a loot bundle, but it was kind of a single loot. This is more using a loot bundle that uses our loot system. The reason that's important is that lets us do things like have, rather than just you get a hilt, that you crafted out of some ingots or whatever, we can have it so it actually gives a chance. So like for food, you could have it so, it usually gives one, but once in a while it'll give you 3 of those foods. We can also have it so you're good, so instead of getting just the food, you cook some bread, you can get like some special bread that has extra stuff that has even better. So again, that's, if you haven't seen it right now, the food stuff, there's skills for it, but they kind of cap out and they don't really do that much after a certain point. So this gives us the ability to make it so that is meaningful again. So that is, the tech for that is done. I've got to go hit the data side of that. That may be one that I can turn over to Beezus now that I've got the other stuff done. We will see. Let's see. Lord Malkavian, still discovering the game here. Is there a quick weapon switch button? If not, is there one expected in the future? Is there a quick... You can quick switch your whole class practically. Actually, if you look in the skill system, or in the deck system, you can make decks. I know this is a little confusing. It's one that you can figure it out on your own, but you'll probably learn more quicker if you just go watch a video. There's a lot of different videos on it. But you can set up multiple decks. And these decks basically define your skills. It can just be a set of static skills, and this is my alt that I don't really play on that much. I just use them for testing, so I don't have a really good one set up here. But you can define this stuff. You can also link equipment to it. So you can not only switch a weapon on the fly by having multiple decks and toggling between the different decks, but you can also switch your gear. So you can switch from like your cloth, here's my DPS nuker set, switch over to your full plate set. Now I will point out that having the more items that are linked that change when you swap gear does determine like how much focus it costs to switch. I believe it also increases the time it takes to switch. So if you do have a deck that is only switching like the one item, like you're switching your crossbow to your sword or whatever, that can go really quick on a switch and does not cost a ton of focus. So, but anyways, can you switch weapons? Yes, you can switch weapons. You can also switch other things as well if you want to. So, and that's if you have the alt deck, there'll actually be a button down here, and I think you can assign. I think there's already a button assigned to it. I forget what it is though. All right, let's see. Next question up. Good question. I love hearing from the new guys. Coswald Dirthmeyer asked one that I really want to know as well, which is, has there been any insight into why durability rolls sometimes take infinity durability, forcing a major repair on any item? So I have not seen this. I did actually put some logging in thinking I would catch it, and I have not seen this. Like none of my log stuff is triggered. I put a log in to see if anybody was suffering more than 10 points of durability. So I've got to do some more logging. I may have to add some client-side logging because I do believe there's some things you can do that your client can request to take damage on stuff. Your client can request to take damage, and the server will let it request to take more damage. And I think that's because that was like one of those things from like Khaki Quest stuff. So I'm kind of thinking there may be something in that. Maybe there's some bad logic, but I'm going to look into, I'm going to have to put in some client-side logging and not just look at the server-side logging for what's going on with that. It does all happen server-side, though, so I would have expected that to happen, which the other thing it made me think was Maybe it's happening in a lot of little chunks, like it's not just hitting you once, but it's hitting you a bunch of times or something like that. I'm having trouble trying to figure out what it could be that it wouldn't be caught by my login, but maybe I just looked at the wrong period. Sometimes these are also things where you think it all happened at once, but maybe there could be like a client-side exception that's just blocking it from updating, and then all of a sudden it updates and bam, it's gone. But that one is one that I have on my radar. I've got a lot of them on my radar. As you saw, I hit a couple of those wacky bugs today. Trying to hit wacky bugs all the time. That's one of the ones that I have on my radar. That one, the other one that I'm looking at right now that is, you guys probably think it's super annoying because it makes some content pretty worthless. It's kind of voluntary content though. But it only happens in certain situations, only in a group, only on the live server, and I have not nailed down what it was. I thought I had a fix. I even had a log message in for when it happened and fixed it, found it and fixed it. And that one is if you're in a party on live and you're fighting in a zone on extreme difficulty, there's some creatures that sometimes don't give experience. Yeah, I know that's really big, but let me tell you, that's a fun one to try to debug. It is something happening on the server though. I put some more logging in and hopefully I can get to the bottom of what is going on there. If you heard me talk about it on a previous stream, I was hoping it had just been a code change that I made that got stomped, but that was not the case. And it should not be exceeding any number values in terms of peak experience. That's what the one I thought it was previously was. I thought it was we have some hard caps set on the server, so the server doesn't, the designers don't accidentally put in like an extra 0 or 3 on something, and hey, guess what? You just got some crazy amount of anything. We have server values to catch that type of stuff on both the like money, gold, and rewards and gold value on stuff. So, but no, I don't believe it's that. So I'm looking into what's going on with that. Let's see. Arturius Magnus Great White Fishing Trophy. I guess that's a request. That may be a good one to get in there. We should have. I'm expecting. I will get the Lord of the Isle extra thing going live for R83. I've got it done now, but it's not completely finished because I need to get some deco surfaces on stuff, which is something I can also offload someone else. But that is getting the experiment for having a basement that is actually the fishing expedition scene. The thing that I've got to do is I've got to go set deco surfaces on some stuff. But basically it will take up a basement slot. It'll take up your basement slot. But again, this is really more experimenting with giving the players the ability to create their own, create and decorate their own virtual spaces type stuff. And the basements, again, while they are a basement, there's no reason they have to be a basement. It can just be teleported to another scene, because really what that is we give you the ability to have scene instancing stuff. So, but anyways, that will be going in for them. There'll be some much lesser version of it, of that same type thing that we'll be putting in the store. What are my fish doing? My fish was doing something. Oh, this may be the last time you see the angelfish in my tank as well. Those guys are getting kind of crowded back there. I've got some big earth eaters and big severums and a couple of bichers. But the angelfish are going to be moving to another tank. There's 5 angelfish in there, so if you're worried about the tank being too crowded, don't worry, I'm taking care of it. They're getting their own tank. But yes, having a great white fishing trophy would be a good thing to add to go along with that scene. Let's see. And that's one that Beezus has done those things, but he's also doing a ton of other stuff. And the other guy who's now coming up and working on a lot of that stuff, List has helped with some of that stuff. Sanyu has helped with some of that stuff. But now even Elgarion is helping with some of that stuff. Hey, thank you very much, John Marcus. Nice seeing you. Thank you for the resub and the bits. And thank you, Bubba Grimo65. Let's see. More questions. Whew. And I'm going to go ahead and start firing up some more prizoning. In case you did not get the memo, the prizoning message for the day is, I love fall most of all. If you want to get in on these prizonings, say that in-game, or go buy some bits from the store. Or crowns, not bits. Go buy some crowns from the store. Let's see. Sorgan Tuxol, are you open to the idea of allowing governors and stewards to place enemy animal spawners, similar to how the Lich was working as a Kodo Town upgrade? I don't think that gives... Again, it's one of those things that I know you guys want to do it for flavor, and I love those things for flavor. Having it as a enemy honestly doesn't bother me that much. I don't see that as being something that where people are going to set up, try to really exploit it much. And I know it's really just more for flavor, and so you can do like little hunting things in there. And it's also one of those things, if you have, I always have concerns whenever we give players the ability to control content that can give rewards. We can have those give rewards. But one of the things, it doesn't bother me that much because there's almost always, when we give you that type of stuff, there's almost always someplace better in the wild you could be doing it rather than doing it, on your own pot. I'm sure there's someplace you can already go to get much better rewards. So this is kind of one of those things I know you guys want to do for flavor. I'm open to it, and that's one of those things, the Lich spawner thing, in case you didn't know, had a bug, which I just fixed today. I don't think that was affecting any of the other type spawners, but the Lich spawner should be working how it was expected. And also thanks to Tazar and ODE for reporting that bug to me. And hopefully he did not grief flare too much with it. Let's see. And again, whiskey buffs, I need to get them on the revamp list. I always forget to touch those when I touch the food because for whatever reason, all the alcohol buffs got put in a different directory. So I go through and I work my way down the list as I try and go through and do my new math to figure out how the balance is on things, but I always forget to do the alcohol buffs because they're on there. Because they're in a different folder and they don't show up in the main list. Let's see. Elrond asks, are we still getting crafting, gathering food, drink buffs? They were non-existent so far. Yes, and so I actually planned on... I've got, there's already stats and things that we can add in there. We already put them on some items. The food buffs that are in there right now, I'm kind of going back and looking over them. I'll be honest, for a lot of the food buffs, I went and tried to make sure and balance them, and I kind of had a rough idea of how rare the items were, but I'm kind of making a pass back through, and I'll probably go back through to some of the more rare items that feel like they're a little underpowered on the buffs, and instead of adding a whole new food thing, make it so, now this one gives not only the stuff it used to give, but it'll also give you these 3 gathering speed buffs or whatever. So tacking them on to existing buffs so that each of the foods gives both some type of combat buff and then also some type of gathering buff. I know that there are some people who have a little overlap in those things, but I kind of feel like those are 2 different kind of categories of things. And so it's really, when I look at them to evaluate them, I'm not going to say, I need to cut the combat value of this buff in half because I'm adding crafting buffs as well. It won't be that. I'll leave the combat buff alone. The crafting buff will be separate. I won't decrease either one just because it has the other, because I feel like those 2 have, no overlap with them. Let's see. Baragon asks, now that back items can be crafted with much better properties, can you please remove the debuffs from the Shroud? For those who don't know, that is the big reward for completing the in-game quest. It's supposed to be super cool and awesome and unique, which it is pretty unique, but it's also unique in that it was the first item that had stat buffs as a Richard request, and of course everybody on the team kind of shied away from that in case you didn't know the backstory for that. And then I ended up putting it in and putting it so it's tied to your virtues, so the stats you give from it are both positive and negative, and they take from your virtue. Well, guess what, it still was pretty positive, net positive, and so there was one backslot item in the entire game that gave stat buffs, the Shroud. So guess what? You walk around town, 100% of the people were wearing the Shroud, and it felt a lot less cool and exclusive when everybody in town is, that you see is wearing it. So that's why, honestly, what pushed us to open up the other backslot stuff and try to get those. I do agree, though, that when I made the Shroud, I intended it to be a net 0 gain, maybe a little bit of positive. But it's one of those things, and it does that, of course, through how I do a lot of stuff, where it'll give you plus this and minus that, and plus this and minus that. But, you know, if you have something that gives like plus moon attunement and minus sun attunement, and you don't do sun magic, then it doesn't matter at all to you. So it really just ends up being the positive. And so that's one of those things, it's always a challenge to make it so it's really neutral, because usually half the buffs you don't care about and you just tune yourself towards that. But yes, I agree, the Shroud should get a tune-up. It is one of those things I have to be super careful on, just because we don't want to get back to the point where we were before, where, hey, everybody's wearing a Shroud. So... and I see Shadow Vice say, love virtue stuff. Add more of it. The virtue stuff is the guy you should be talking to, who also occasionally does streams. He hasn't done many lately because I've been tasking him with more than enough work to keep him busy and wearing him out, is Sanyo. So he is the guy who is driving a lot of the story stuff, talking to Richard about virtue stuff, running all that stuff by him. If you ever see a stream with Richard and Sanyo on here, which we've had a number of them, you can tell those two guys are the two guys that are talking. The other guy who is somewhat involved in that stuff is Ravlox, who's another guy to talk to about that stuff. Ravlox also gave the final Sanity Pass editing on the next Shroud of the Avatar book by Tracy Hickman that is done. I mean, I've seen it. I know it's done. I don't know if it's going to print or what the deal is. I know we'll be able to distribute it to people in game because we paid for it, but I don't know. I don't even know what they're going to do with it or what all the backstory is. I just know at some point we're going to be able to give it to you guys in some form, some digital form. Don't get me started on that. The other thing. Destroying my life. Let's see. So yes, I agree, and I will copy that question to the channel. Thank you very much, Baragon. Again, nice seeing another long time name in there. Let's see, Lord Malkavian. And a crouch button also, for I have to kneel every time I'm spying on someone. Yes, I do that. Intelligentsia playthrough. A crouch button. Trying to think. We don't have a crouch. I'm trying to think if there's a reason we don't have a crouch. I think it's one of those things, again, we always try to focus on making sure we don't waste time on things that don't really have effects. Yeah, you have a crouch emote. Yeah, and that's, again, when you crouch right now, we don't let it modify your collision volume, or when you kneel or do any of those things, your collision volume is the same because we keep that simple and the same, so, you know, doesn't matter what you do. We don't want you to be able to get under, like you can't get through a place you couldn't get through before. This is also true if you shrink. You can't get to a place you couldn't get to before, because then you could get stuck, which would be a kind of bad thing. Oh, and thank you, Radiant Ranger, for the 160 bits, and Bubba Grimm, thank you for the 100 bits, and Shadow Vice again, and John Marcus again, long timer. John Marcus has, by the way, is one of the few people who has a thing in game named after him. If you find Cap'n Marcus, I believe I spelled it Cap'n, C-A-P''N, in game, that's him. Let's see. Elron, teleport to zone scroll. Thank you, Captain John Marcus. Teleport to zone scroll. Can you add first option when used to the location governors select as their save as defaults in pots? That sounds like one. I think we have that information. Sometimes people give these bits of advice and like ideas, and it's like, that's a great idea. Except when you're using that scroll over there, it'll never know about the other information, that stuff. I think we actually do have that information when you're picking that stuff. So yeah, that seems like that one should be a doable one. Oh, I'm posting all these things into our system design channel, partially just so other people in the team can see them, but also so I have a list of here's the stuff I want to make sure and try and hit. But I see list, Travis jumped in and said, OMG, please, yes, please, on the cloak, on the shroud, giving bad stats, being worse than other stuff you can have. Monkey Smack, what are the effects of cooking level on food buffs? I think none. That is something that I do plan on changing. That's what I was mentioning earlier, talking about the food loot bundle stuff. So that should be, when that happens, it won't give variable amounts out. And this is one of those things, it's always tough to explain the reasons why we can't really have this piece of food was crafted with this skill level, so instead of giving +5 strength, it gives +7.5 strength. Because when we start doing that stuff, we lose the stackability of it, which is one of those things, if we start making it so it's infinitely variable, so all this stuff, like, you could actually be sitting there, like, doing I'm leveling up my cooking, and you get done, and you've got 47 different versions of the hot dog with 0.1 more stat on each individual one as you leveled up. So we try to avoid having that type stuff the same way, and that's one that we do have that for, like, gear. We have it so as you level up. But for the food buffs, there's also a few other complications for it. But that is one that we are going to be setting it into categories, as I mentioned earlier with the loot bundle stuff, where instead of it being like 47 different versions of it, where you get like 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1 as your skill goes up, it'll fall in categories, and then your skill level will increase the chances that you get one of the higher ones. So, but that also means that there probably will be some time when we get the lucky die roll where with a mid skill you can get one of the high ones. But again, we're going to make it so the higher level people have a much better chance. Rudy says, have you tried running in a VM with a high latency hard drive and 8 gigabytes of RAM? I know that is a problem configuration. I've tried running on 8 gigs of RAM before. That is always a problem, and that is kind of one of those things. Right now, my estimation is I actually can run on 8 gigs. We do have multiple machines around here that I can try it on. You can run on 8 gigs of RAM. You can run with a platter drive. You cannot run with those two things combined. That is kind of, technically I think you can, but you will agonize and you will not enjoy life with those two things. If you have an SSD where it can swap pretty well to the SSD and you're not taking massive hits, then 8 gigs of RAM is doable but not fun. It's not horrible. Playing on with the graphics settings turned down does help quite a bit. But yeah, if you are on a 8 gig machine and a platter drive, then we're probably not the game for you. I can send you an SSD, just let me know. I'll sell you one cheap. I got a bunch. Yeah, and I see somebody say that 15,000 RPM platter drive and 32 gigabytes of RAM works pretty well. Yeah, when you get up to 32 gigs of RAM, then you've got enough extra RAM, so it'll do a good job of caching. And 15,000 RPM is obviously a much faster drive, but still, again, order of magnitude slower than SSD. SSD for the win these days. Let's see, but yeah, I've tested. Actually, the box I test on has a 600 gig Raptor drive. It's one of those 10,000 RPM drives, and even that is still not great. But with 32 gigs, you probably won't even notice because it caches so much. Let's see. A Night Owl. Chris, have you checked the mailbox on Atos? Trying to think when the last time I checked it. I did check it maybe in the last week or two. I know I saw an email. I was on there actually just recently. Oh, you know what? I think I've checked it, but I think I may have only checked it on QA, and I'm not sure when the last time stuff got moved over on there. Was there something in there for me? It won't get deleted for me. Don't worry. I can get it. It sounds like I need to go do that again. Let's see. Stymie LLTS, listening to the Shroud of the Avatar audiobook makes me wonder if we will ever see the Sword of the Avatar as a quest line reward. That was one I actually mentioned as well. Yeah, like having stuff like that in the book and then not having it in game. I had a question for you, Stymie Long Live Syndicate. For those who don't know, LLTS is Long Live Syndicate. Do you know who does the reading of that book? Who does the voice? I'd be curious to know that. I haven't looked into it yet. I think I saw you post it maybe on Facebook or something, and I saw the audio book picture, but it didn't have a name on it. I was expecting, like, probably not Tracy, but somebody. I was hoping like Richard or somebody would have read it. And yes, please add more of the lore. Yeah, that's, I mentioned earlier that Ravlox is working with Sanyo and Richard and Tracy on that stuff. He's actually was really good about going through and trying to catch all the stuff that was, not all the stuff, trying to catch a lot of the stuff in the episode 2 book, the second book, that was just absolutely bat poop crazy and not tied to the what the game actually is. So I think he made quite a few changes to it and updated a bunch of stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, that's one I wish we'd get more of the lore stuff in there just because it's free fiction. And I know there's a lot of people out there who have read the book or listened to the book. So I actually need to go back and read the book or listen to the book. I guess I can do now again because I did it. Derek Perkins, all right? Yeah, it's a name I don't know, but sounds like he's good. But yeah, I haven't read the book since it was before it ever went to print, so many years. I need to go back and do it again. Hey, thank you very much, Tazar, and also thank you for hosting me on your stream. You and Lancel and the ODE guys. And if you just joined us, I did get the Lich issue fixed. There's actually a patch that's ready to go that'll have that in there. It will go back to being just a deco in the pot. And actually I fought with an issue with Elgarion helping me trying to figure out what was going on. And it turns out it's just how it's always been in the dungeons, but you just don't see it, which is when you place it on your pot as a deco. You guys can go try this at home once the patch goes out. If you have the thing happening, I won't say what it is yet because I haven't got the patch live yet, that makes it spawn in the pot, on your lot or whatever is a deco there. You log into that spot, you will see it appear, you will see the Lich actually spawn, and then he will despawn like a second later. So you can watch for that. But that actually turns out, I fought with it like, what did I break that is causing this weird behavior? Turns out that's not weird behavior. That's just how it's always worked. It's just in the dungeons you don't see it, or at least we'd never seen it before, noticed it before. So you can keep an eye out for that little tidbit. Let's see. Royu, Spiritual Dragon. I see that we can place on castle turrets now, but I am unable to place a cannon. Can that be fixed so I can place a cannons and cannonball, please? That sounds like one Elgarion will love fixing. He is all over that stuff. Again, I've mentioned before, but he is, lots of guys on the team is amazing. He's been like absolutely super amazing lately because he's been trying to pick up more stuff, and I finally realized what it is. I think he actually enjoys this stuff. I think he's like a lot of us were, when playing Dungeons and Dragons when you were a kid, and this is him. He's getting to be the dungeon master on a lot of this stuff, so I think he's enjoying it more than most people would expect. But that's the type of stuff he loves, going and tweaking and doing that stuff on. Hey, and thank you very much, Z-Moose, for the follow, and thank you for his Divine Darkness. Thank you for the follow. Again, thank everybody, Bodacious and Shaner and all the other guys for earlier for the bitch stream, which actually it's after 5 o'clock now. Let me do a couple prizes here. Maybe I'll hit up one more question, and then I will call it a night and go feed my family. And also feed these guys behind me since they're getting rowdy back there. I don't think I fed them today. Doot. Let me get over here. Hold on. Looking for it. Okay. Running the prizing first time here. If I can find it. All right, two prizings queued up. I'll read those two guys, and then I will wrap it up here. But while those guys are running, let me do a couple more questions. I'm going to skip down a little bit because I'm not going to get through all of them, so I'm probably still hitting the ones from the first half of the stream. Pipester, how hard would it be to add a door to something like the Shogun or wooden wall? Doors is one of the ones that's on the short list, and this is one also that I think came up on a stream a while back, and we kind of all looked at each other and said, I don't know why we don't have doors. I know you guys do a lot of crazy hacks of like putting up walls that you can move, and that's how you keep it locked for your guild and stuff like that. But yeah, we should have a door deco that obeys restrictions and stuff like that soon. Let's see. Tular Fairlow. I am still getting hitching while playing ABC files. More precisely, a band file in a 5-piece one-man band. Raising priority actually seems to have made it worse. That is one that, again, I'm not entirely sure what that is, except that I've looked at this. I've done a little profiling on that. And I suspect that is due to how we handle... We're always trying to stomp down the memory on Unity stuff. And I know you can tell, right? Because that's why it has such a small footprint all the time, right? That was sarcasm. But the sound buffer is one of those things that's always growing and eating up more memory, and we're always trying to squash it down. I'm going to guess that there's probably something going on where it's trying to squash down. It says, look at the sound buffer memory stuff. It's getting so huge. I think I'll squish it down and save some memory there. And my guess is it's squishing it down in the middle of your stream or whatever, and then it immediately says, not enough memory, better go pump that sucker back up. So I'll look at it. I didn't really see, I saw some minor hitching when I was doing it. Maybe it's a memory issue too, like a 8 gig or 16 gig or playing for a long time or something. But those are not crazy. They shouldn't be crazy high memory because we do keep everything in OBS formats for those. Oh, you know what? I'll have to go look at those. Those may not be able to be in the compressed format just because of some of the wacky stuff we do with it. But yeah, that's a good one. I'll post that one on the tech channel. One and Only is always looking for easy fixes to jump on. Let's see. Necronaut asks, regarding the new boss fights, how will you handle loot? Increase drop chances for some rare stuff, unique loot tables for some of the new encounters, etc. There will probably be all of those things. Again, we have the artifact stuff where you can get the commons and uncommon ones drop, and you can combine those to make the better ones. But we don't really drop any of the better ones. So that's one of the things I was planning on doing for those, is basically they'll have kind of like a loot table like another boss, but instead of dropping, uncommons or commons, they'll drop, rares or something on that, which basically equates to you got 4 artifacts. And that's cool, but again, that's not unique. That's the other thing that I've promised multiple people for this release, and why I'm punting on some crafting stuff that I was planning on doing, is because our loot in the new areas needs to be far more compelling. So that is going to be some of the group buff stuff that I've mentioned before, which, if you haven't heard, is basically ingredients that drop to let you craft a single-use AE buff that's basically like a blessing if you've used any blessings from town stuff. So you'll be able to do like a large area effect blessing type thing that'll last for several days. And it'll affect you and people in your party and strangers around you as well. So this is one that again, I expect it to be rare enough, cool enough, interesting enough that people will probably, announce on the Universal channel, hey, gonna pop a Dragon's Blessing over in Mistmire, and in 5 minutes, and then people will rush over to do it. So again, this is one of those things too for crafters. Like, not only is it kind of fun, like maybe get it for whatever, but it's also a way to, like, hey, you want to get people to your pot? Here's what you do: is you set a 15-minute notice or whatever that I'm going to pop one in this pot. Come to it. It's in northwest corner of episode 2, and then that'll attract people there. So that's going to be one of those mini things. There's going to be some more durable goods. Again, I'm trying to make sure and mix up the consumable coolness stuff with the durable goods, just because, again, durable goods are durable. They're not something that you can get super excited about finding over and over again, which also means those have to be fairly rare. So, but there will be new stuff. There'll be new artifacts. There'll be possibly some new ingot type stuff. There'll be hopefully some new essences going into it for dungeon stuff. But again, try and get lots of stuff in there for the episode 2 scenes, because right now they're cool and they're new. You guys should want to be there, but in general, the actual loot rewards is a little less than other scenes, which means that there's less incentive for a lot of people, especially if you're a min-maxer. Not hating on the min-maxers. You guys are awesome. But we want to give you reasons to go to the new scenes and not feel like you're being punished of, like, cool, it's a change of scene and experience, but let me thank some people here, do some prizes there. As a extra special treat to you guys, this stream and this stream only, I will not be singing you out into the next stream. I know you're all disappointed. I can tell. Thank you for All Sorts TV and Preston Jong. Nice seeing you here, buddy, and nice seeing you. Your post on Facebook. I know, it's so sad, right? You guys can thank John Marcus for not doing that this time. So let me call off some prizes here. Let's see if I got any. Hey, 2 in a row there. Let's see how many repeats I have. I don't see any repeats there even. All right, here we go. You guys ready? Let's see. I'm going to do this. I'm going to mix it up. I'll call off the thing, and then I'll name 2 people rather than doing one less than the other. So the Ornate Spider Legs cloak goes to Grismock and also to Delane Lachlan. The Spiderweb Cloak goes to Harvey Rabbit and Slick Willie. The Woven Spiderweb Cloak goes to Stymie Savage Fury and Elvenaria Grinspin. The Zombie Statue goes to Drakenya Naruto and Gemma Star. With 1 R. Only 1 R. No love for Star. Rustic 2-Story Village Home goes to Dinharu Arcano and Sisik Sarcotic. All right, guys. Again, I'll try and see. I don't think I have anybody lined up for next Wednesday on the stream. If I don't have anybody, hopefully I will do the stream. Is my stream down? My stream's not down. No, the stream's not down, Necronut. Quit trying to scare me, man. But I'll try and do one Wednesday if I don't have somebody lined up. If you are somebody who does streams, you got a following, or you want to get one, you think you can talk to me about game stuff, you have some ideas you want to get across there, you got a following and been in the game for a while, I'm not just going to go to anybody's stream. I want to see that you're streaming the game some before. But feel free to ask me onto your stream. I'll come jump on your stream and you can grill me on stuff. I'm going to try to be back on old ODE, Old Dirty Elders. Order of the Drunken Elders. Yes. Oh, man, I keep screwing myself up on it. Order of the Drunken Elders, ODE's stream here. Possibly in a couple of weeks. We'll see how the dragon fight comes along, and because I need somebody to come help me tune it on QA. But guys, again, thank you so much. This would normally be where I'd turn to Elgarion. He's not there. I gave him the evening off to go drink with his buddies. To give me a stream to go raid. Since I do not have him here, I got to go pick a stream. Let's see. If there's somebody new on there, I'd try to favor the new guys who are trying to get some followers there. Again, just because it always makes you get some excited to be like, I got rated. And that's what we want. And if they're not there, I think these are all people. Like Revenant's title, keep calm, drink beer, and play Shroud of the Avatar. Let me see here. But we've got me, we've got 2 of my other favorite people there, Graceful Bard. Speaking of missing live music, if you want some live music, that's the place to go. Alphane's on. If you want to learn how to play the game. If you want to learn how to break the game is probably more where it should be. Alphane is amazing. We probably should. I need to be on his stream. Why have I not been on his stream? We were talking about doing a stream together soon. But anyways, I'm supposed to be on his stream. He wanted to have me on, but I think he really just wants to talk to me and not invite you guys in so much because he wants to tell me secret bad stuff that he does. I don't know that that's really true. But let's see. That's not where I do it. I do it down here. Today, we got a 3, which on my screen at least is an Alphane. So we will be rating Alphane. If you want to help out a newer person in the game, a newer stream, you can go to Revenant84 though. If you want to hear some amazing singing and just an amazing voice talking and fun to listen to, the Graceful Bard is also a good choice there. But officially, we are rating Alphane, who again is also amazing, and I need to be on his stream. I'm not sure how that fell apart. He needs to harass Elgarion and get me on his stream. But anyways, let's see, get that going there. Queuing up, guys. Again, well, I got a few seconds here. Stay home, stay safe. We still have the double experience points going on. The other reason right now that I have not moved over to the new stuff, again, I've got a way I can do it now to get you guys to the new experience system, so I can turn off double experience points but still have it be nearly as rewarding, possibly in some situations maybe more rewarding. But that right now, the thing that is scaring me on doing that switch early is some people not getting experience points in some situations in some episode 2 stuff. So until I get that worked out, I'm just going to leave the double experience points on, but I do plan on getting back to that soon. Again, guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the support on the stream here today. Again, all you guys, Winfield and Shaner Niner and Bodacious88 and Mandalar and all the other people who contributed tons today. Thanks for the support on the project. Happy to be on the stream. We'll see next week. Maybe we'll get a little more of a plan together. Well, next week I may be able to show off some boss fight stuff. We'll see how it goes. But if not, I will show off where the current state of horses are and talk to you about horses on the next one. Again, guys, thank you. Now go support our streamers. Again, I'm sending you to Alphane. He is amazing. If you want to learn how to play the game, he's the guy. If you want to help a new guy out, Revenant84 is out there. And then also the Graceful Bard, amazing singer and personality. And have fun, guys. Be safe. And cut! See you guys.